is making significant incursions into strategies to strengthen the unity among universities in the African continent. The number of African universities are not only skyrocketing, but also the institutions continue to be confronted by inadequate infrastructure. This makes the sub-theme of African Higher Education Coravit 2023, promoting African inter-university partnership, cooperation and internationalization drive, not only aptly relevant, but also in the right direction. In July this year, the entire membership of African Higher Education is organizing Coravit 2023 in Namibia to provide the needed platform to brainstorm, share knowledge and ideas to develop strategy for achieving its laudable objectives. Are you planning for any conference? Then make time with Coravit 2023 for proper, better and greater results.
You're welcome to the Midweek News on AAU TV, your trusted voice of higher education in Africa. My name is Mamiukwa Utuakwa Nyame.
And I am Isabella Teteahenakwa.
And in our top stories, a new academy has been launched to advance scientific francophonie. And also over 21,000 cholera and 95 deaths have been recorded in Mozambique due to the effects of Cyclone Freddy.
And in Discovery Story, South Africa has launched its first 3D robotic printing house machine. Also in entertainment, 5-time Grammy winner Angelique Kidjo becomes the third African artist to win the Poland Music Prize. Please stay with us for more news in detail. Stay tuned.
The news in detail. A new academy, the International Academy of Scientific Francophonie, has been established by the Francophone University Agency in Morocco, aiming to promote the use of French as a scientific language. Despite the growth in the day-to-day usage of French, the use of the language in scientific research has been declining.
AIFS was inaugurated on March 22nd at a ceremony by Professor Slim Kalbos, the rector of the Francophone University Agency, AUF, Professor Sorine Michal Simpenyu, the president of AUF, and the Minister of Higher Education, Scientific Research and Innovation of Morocco, Professor Latif Mirari. AUF's mission is to focus on advancing the French-speaking scientific space through various strategies, including scientific publications in French. Besides focusing on promoting and supporting the publication of French language content and supporting its discoverabilities, the new International Academy of Scientific Francophonie, AIFS, will also focus on growing the scientific francophonie, particularly among young people, teachers, and researchers. To achieve its aim, AIFS will have a scientific francophonie observatory dedicated to studies to improve the understanding of the transformation of French-speaking educational and university space. AIFS will also have a Center for Scientific Publications to strengthen the production and dissemination of knowledge in French and to promote the visibility of the research by French-speaking scientists. According to Abdullah Bihania, a part-time international researcher and a professor at the Superior Institution of Science and Technology, the initiative will have great impact on higher education and scientific research development in Morocco and the French-speaking world. Hence, AIFS can play a crucial role in promoting collaboration, the sharing of knowledge and resources, and the development of new research projects. By bringing together scientists and researchers from different disciplines and countries, AIFS can help to create new research opportunities and facilitate the exchange of ideas and expertise, he indicated.
Meanwhile, in Cameroon, a team of 5 women have been named winners of the Yellow Digital Talent Competition, marking the significant advances women are making in the country's innovative technology. According to Cameroon's Post and Telecommunications Minister, Minette Likeng, effort of government and partners enable university students to not only express their talent and mastery of ICT, but also contribute to the country's digital transformation.
The Yellow Digital Talent Competition in Cameroon is a computer programming challenge where students at private and public universities and institutions offering computer and technology programs compete in teams of 5 against one another. Sponsored by the Ministry of Post and Telecommunications, Higher Education, and partners including MTN and Camtel, winning teams receive prize money of up to $4,000 and can participate in a high-level business incubation program. A group of Yellow Digital Talent Competition winners developed a program called My Comfy Doctor, which allows women to consult doctors anonymously and avoid conventional care to avoid discrimination. Another group from Deshang University created a 3-stage fast firefighting system based on artificial intelligence to better manage fire outbreaks. Though the government has established multimedia centers to improve women's digital skills and a digital lab program that provides training and computers to assist women in upgrading their technology skills, women continue to face numerous challenges. The Ministry of Post and Telecommunications, the National Agency for Information, Communication and Technologies, ANTICS, and the Telecommunications Regulatory Board are responsible for several government initiatives aimed at women.
Well, that's some great news coming in from Cameroon, and it's great to know that the Cameroon government and perhaps some other governments in Africa have been investing in women in STEM. But today, to help us delve deep into women in STEM, I've got here the Director of ICT and Knowledge Management here at the Association of African Universities, and she's also an advocate for women in ICT. She's in the person of Ms. Nodumo Dlamini. Ms. Nodumo, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We are so glad to have you. So quickly, given where you stand when it comes to women in STEM, in ICT, I would want to know some of the available opportunities for women who intend to pursue a career in ICT in Africa.
Women stand to benefit, one, from careers that are available in ICT, and also they stand to benefit in terms of professional development through the various networks that have been established to support women to grow in ICT. When we look at the careers, there are quite a number of careers that women can go into. Women can be coders, developers of digital systems. Women can go into computer forensics, for example, where they combine technology and the justice issues. They can also go into careers related to data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and actually be able to contribute to areas related to image recognition, natural language processing, cyber security, cloud computing engineering.
Yeah, so I would want to find out if there are currently existing groups that women in ICT can perhaps join so that they can get enough mentorship in our continent.
Yeah. There are some global organizations such as AnitaB.org. The ladies can Google that organization. And then I think in Ghana here, there's also a Ghanaian that has started a group called Women in IT Africa, WITA, which has been developed by Ethel D. Coffey, who is a renowned woman in IT. There's also AFCHICS. They can also Google AFCHICS. And there's also Girls Can Code initiative. There's quite a number. I think it's about doing research, whether there's a group within the town that you are in, and then joining that group.
So Ms. Nodumo, you know, when it comes to the number of women who are involved in IT on our continent, the numbers never lie. The men always overshadow the women. Now, I would want to find out the root cause. Is it that there are some policies that hinders women from pursuing courses in IT on the continent?
I think the policies almost hinder everybody. Some of the policies, but I would really touch on the policies related to connectivity. You'll find that most of the women are maybe in the rural areas, and in rural areas there's no connectivity. So we're talking about a connectivity policy for the rural areas. And intentionally that connectivity policy must have a gender focus, so that when the connectivity arrives, women are part of it. And then of course there are policies around a taxation of IT gadgets in most African countries. So when these IT gadgets are taxed, they become more expensive. So meaning women and others are not able to access. And then maybe policies on how we support the clubs, the women in IT clubs. I think the governments must intentionally resource these clubs so that they can do more outreach, so that they can role model the sector, and younger girls can
agree. I think I would finally touch on the cost of IT gadgets, as you mentioned that in some of the rural areas these gadgets are quite expensive, so women are not able to purchase these items. So I mean, a hindrance like this and others, what is being done to address these hindrances? Because we are here advocating that women should go into IT, but they are hindered in certain ways. What is being done to address those issues?
The women in IT groups that I know, one of their core business is to bring such issues to light, to actually lobby, to create spaces where the relevant government ministers come and interact with the women and understand what it is that hinders them. But the governments are really moving towards addressing issues of gender in most of the policy discussion areas. So I'm sure that these issues have reached the government. It's now just a matter of following up, keeping on pressing, and until that the government actually does something about it.
So Ms. Nodumo, given that you're an advocate for women in IT, I would want to give you the opportunity to say a few words to women who are pursuing IT courses.
I want to encourage the girls not to give up, to continue registering for those programs and courses, because we've noticed that the few that get into the career, when they graduate, they drop it and they go somewhere else. And we're trying to find out why even those that start don't really stay the course. So there are quite a lot of opportunities that women can access and value that women can bring to the table. Because if systems, infrastructure is only developed by men, it will affect us as women eventually.
Yeah.
But we need to be at the table so that the perspectives of the women are included in projects, in software development, in decisions, in policy making and the like.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much for coming. And that was Ms. Nudumod Lamin, Director of ICT and Knowledge Management at the Association of African Universities. Please stick with us. We'll be back with health news.
L'Association des universités africaines, en collaboration avec la République namibienne et l'Université de Namibie, vous invite à la 22e édition de la conférence des recteurs, vice-chanceliers et présidents des universités africaines, COREVIP, qui se tiendra du 4 au 7 juillet 2023 à Windhoek, Namibie. Cet événement réunira des directeurs généraux d'établissements d'enseignement supérieur en Afrique, des ministres de l'enseignement supérieur, des chercheurs, des universitaires, des partenaires des communautés de développement et de l'industrie, ainsi que toutes les parties prenantes intéressées par l'enseignement supérieur. Le thème général de la conférence, faire progresser l'excellence et l'enseignement supérieur africain, est composé de sous-thèmes suivants. Inscrivez-vous dès aujourd'hui sur nos sites web dédiés à l'événement www.events.aae.org par COREVIP ou appelez le +233 244 73 62 80 ou le +233 264 17 31 53 pour participer au plus grand événement de l'enseignement supérieur en Afrique qui se tiendra cette année. Ne manquez pas à cette belle occasion de nouer des contacts, d'élargir vos connaissances, de contribuer au développement du secteur de l'enseignement supérieur en Afrique et de nouer de nouvelles relations tout en renforçant les relations existantes. Pour organiser un événement parallèle, faire une exposition, sponsoriser l'événement, réserver un temps de parole et pour plus d'informations, contactez ransford@aau.org ou endarco@aau.org. La UA, la voie de l'enseignement supérieur en Afrique.
Health news. Mozambique is still dealing with worst cholera outbreak in more than a decade as the effect of Cyclone Freddy continues to wreak havoc on the country.
The World Health Organization has warned that due to the effects of Cyclone Freddy, one of the longest-lasting tropical cyclones on record, over 1 million people in Mozambique are at risk of contracting cholera, polio, or COVID-19. Following Cyclone Freddy's devastation, more than 300 health facilities were destroyed in countries such as Madagascar, Malawi, and Mozambique, leaving communities without adequate access to health services. According to Dr. Severin von Zlander, World Health Organization representative for Mozambique, while cholera outbreaks occur in Mozambique between October and April every year, with over 21,000 cases currently and 95 deaths, this is the largest outbreak in the last 20 years. As the number of cases continues to rise, 8 of Mozambique's 11 provinces have been affected. The Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention are working with the World Health Organization and the Vaccine Alliance Gavi to find new ways to get more vaccine doses. In an effort to combat the spread of cholera, the first vaccination campaign was launched in February and targeted 410,000 people. Cholera is a severe diarrheal infection that can be fatal due to severe watery diarrhea and dehydration. We hope that with the efforts of health professionals and vaccination campaigns, the people of Mozambique can overcome this crisis and rebuild their lives.
Also in our Discovery News, South African researchers and engineers have launched 3D printed houses, a new technological innovation that can build a house in less than a day. This construction method is expected to be 32% less expensive than conventional building.
The University of Johannesburg and its Engineering and Science Department, in collaboration with the KwaZulu-Natal Department of Human Settlement and AFRISAM, have built South Africa's first 3D robotic concrete printing houses, which can complete a 6-room house in less than 24 hours, addressing the country's urban housing shortage. The construction is divided into 3 phases, according to Raphael Lediga, the project technical lead. The first step is to create a drawing model that depicts how you want your object to look, and this is usually overseen by an architect who also oversees the design and software. After that, the artwork is converted to a 3D printable format. The file is then formatted and sent to the machine or robot. Kimberly Chinoguri, a master's in civil engineering student at the University of Johannesburg, spoke with Africa News about her experience operating the 3D robotic printing machine.
My thesis is based on a biomass material that can be used to print 3D houses. So I'm hoping if I find the right mixture, the right mix design, I can be on the forefront of this whole new technology.
According to the South African government, this innovation is part of their strategy to establish sustainable human settlement and economic recovery.
We'll be back with news on entertainment and sports.
Welcome to GTP Health and Safety Corner. Charging up goes a long way. Strengthen your immune system. Your immune system needs all the help it can get. Eat well, stay hydrated. Hands pick up a lot. Avoid touching your face. Your well-being is in your hands. Sanitize regularly. Stay safe. GTB, timeless.
Moving on to our entertainment news, Angelique Kidjo, a Beninese popular singer known for her collaborations with internationally prominent popular musicians, has been named one of 3 2023 Polar Music Prize recipients, making her the 2023 laureate of the Polar Music Prize, the world's most prestigious award.
Founded in 1989 by ABBA manager Sten Stickan Andersson, the Sweden-based Polar Music Prize has been awarded since 1992 and is considered to be among the most prestigious honors in the music industry. Past winners include Paul McCartney in 1992, Elton John in 1995, Stevie Wonder in 1999, Bijog in 2010 and Sting in 2017. Speaking on CNN's African Voice, Kidjo said having a beautiful voice is one thing. However, you always have to think about what you want to do with that voice. Kidjo will join only 2 previous recipients from the African continent, South Africa's Miriam Makeba in 2002 and Senegal's Ousmane Ndio in 2013. Honored alongside Kidjo this year will be Chris Blackwell, founder of Island Records in the UK, and Avo Pat of Estonia, the world's most performed living composer, according to a Polar Prize press release. Also in a press release, Kidjo expressed gratitude for being awarded the Polar Music Prize. She also mentioned that the award comes with a sense of responsibility that is bestowed upon her as an artist to continue to do great work. She will do her best to be a proud recipient of the prize through her work as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador on behalf of the children and an ambassador of music to help create a world in which we can all live in peace. The ceremony will take place on May 23rd in Stockholm.
In our sports news, Anthony Joshua, a British heavyweight boxer, returned to winning ways with a unanimous point victory over Jermaine Franklin at London's O2 Arena. Before the fight, he declared that he had found the answers to all of his questions about himself. Joshua now has a record of 25 wins, 22 stoppages and 3 losses.
The British heavyweight 33 controlled the contest against the durable American, but it was not the explosive early finish many expected. 2 judges called it 117 to 111 and 118 to 111 to Joshua. Tempers flared after the final bell as the two fighters squared up to each other, prompting their teams to enter the ring and be separated by security. It is Joshua's first win in more than 2 years, having lost consecutive bouts to WBA, IBF and WBO world champion Alexander Usyk. In an interview with 5 Live Boxing, Joshua said the sport was brutal, but knockouts are everything. Unfortunately, there was none, so he was not too happy. He said that he could and should have thrown more shots, but he could not. However, he added that as part of a comeback, it is necessary to be one's own critique. He also called out fellow Briton and WBC champion Tyson Fury, saying that he would try and provide for the fans. He mentioned that when the fans were asked to name who they want, they mentioned Tyson Fury, and so the ball is in his court. Joshua has now won 25 fights with 22 stoppages and lost 3 since turning professional in 2013. It is a second defeat for Franklin, 29, having lost to Briton Dillian White in November.
It's hard to give him a round. Maybe the first round was close, but he's not.
That is all for sports and entertainment news. I am Nana Isman Basam. Up next is the business news.
The Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa, CFLE Africa, and its strategic partners launched the Financial Literacy Month Campaign 2023 under the theme Rethinking Personal Financial Planning in Uncertain Times and for Sustainable Growth as part of the strategies put in place to improve the financial awareness and financial literacy movement in Ghana. According to Mr. Peter Kojo Asari Nyako, Executive Director of CFLE Africa, April is celebrated as Financial Literacy Month in Ghana and around the world each year. Also, many activities have been put in place this year to promote the campaign.
With the movement, our goal is to touch every single Ghanaian by 2030. And so we want to touch 10 million Ghanaians by 2025. We are doing school outreaches, community outreaches, media campaigns. On the 12th of April, we are going to Koforidua Technical University to engage the students and then the community. On the 14th, we are at Central University. On the 15th, we are at University of Education, UNIBA. So we are going to a number of schools that we have selected. April is Financial Literacy Month, and I want every single person to get involved. Learn something about personal finance, talk to someone, and let's all help build a Ghana where each and everyone is financially literate.
Up next is international.
In international news, despite Russia's invasion of Ukraine on 24 February 2022 and Ukraine's protest, Russia has taken over the presidency of the UN Security Council. According to Ukraine's presidential advisor, Mikhailo Podolak, this is another violation of international law, as an entity that wages an aggressive war, violates humanitarian and criminal law norms, destroys the UN Charter, disregards nuclear safety, cannot lead the world's most important security body.
February 2022, which was the last time Russia had the presidency, it launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, to wit the Security Council is being led by a country whose president is subject to an international arrest warrant for alleged war crimes. The International Criminal Court, which is not a UN institution, issued the warrant for Vladimir Putin last month. Despite Ukraine's complaints, the United States said it could not block Russia, a permanent council member, from assuming the presidency. Moscow's ambassador to the UN, Vasily Nebenzia, told the Rozhentsar news agency that he planned to oversee several debates, including one on arms control. Meanwhile, Ukraine's presidential advisor, Mikhailo Podolyak, said the move was another rape of international law. An entity that wages an aggressive war, violates the norms of humanitarian and criminal law, destroys the UN Charter, neglects nuclear safety, cannot head the world's key security body. Last year, President Zelensky called for the Security Council to reform or dissolve altogether, accusing it of failing to take enough action to prevent Russia's invasion. But the US has said its hands were tied, as the UN Charter does not allow for the removal of a permanent member. Unfortunately, Russia is a permanent member of the Security Council, and no feasible international legal pathway exists to change that reality, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told a news briefing this week. She added the U.S. expects Moscow to continue to use its seat on the Council to spread disinformation and justify its actions in Ukraine.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's take a quick recap of our top stories.
On higher education, a new academy has been launched to advance scientific francophonie. And also, over 21,000 cholera cases and 95 deaths have been recorded in Mozambique due to effects of Cyclone Freddy.
In our Discovery story, South Africa has launched its first 3D robotic printing houses machine. And entertainment, 5-time Grammy winner Angelique Kidjo becomes the third African artist to win the Polar Music Prize.
And I'll thank you for sticking with us on the AAU TV Mid-Week News. Get interactive with us on our dedicated news hub via tv.aau.org. My name is Mamiukwa Utakwa Nyame.
And my name is Isabella Tete Ahinakwa.